Hello, my Cancer and Cancer Rising friends, Sandra from ForYourChi.com, and we're here today with your monthly tarot and oracle card reading for July 2021. Welcome to it. Glad to be back. I love doing these, and I love looking to see what's coming up for you guys. And as we start July, you are in the thick of your Cancer birthday season, so happy birthday to you. Cancers, as well as a few other signs, have had a very difficult time emotionally in the midst of all these eclipses happening. So I hope that you guys are finding some peace in between the tears that are being shed at this time. Let's get into your reading. And I see good news here. It's in the 7th house. There's a hint. First house, hope. Okay, so what I love about this is we're using Wisdom of the Avalon for the oracle message. You have hope and you have trust in your first house, which tells me that your prayers are being heard and they are in the midst of being answered right now. Okay, so you're going to need to have the faith that they are going to manifest in divine timing. If you are feeling depressed, I would definitely do all that you can to pull yourself out of that right now, whether that's therapy. You guys have lots of modalities by now, right? Make sure you're doing sea salt baths as long as your health body regimen can handle that. Make sure you're clearing your energy somehow. Okay, so that's a good place to be. I love it, especially for your birthday month. Okay, second house is awareness, and this rules your possessions and finances. So what this means is you already know what move to make with your money or how to obtain more, but you haven't done it yet. Okay, this could definitely be learning a new skill. If for some of you, if you've already had a business idea but you haven't started it yet, even just by little baby steps, I would definitely go for it here, because this is definitely a message that you need to pay attention to. It's like all of the arrows are pointing in one direction and you're sort of hesitant because you're not sure, but this is your confirmation card right here and message. You have the mystery in that second house. So this is like the key that's unlocking the universe's door. What's behind door number 1, door number 2, door number 3? What's behind all of them? So I feel like this is even more important than when it comes up by itself or when it comes up with another oracle message. Pay attention to that and go for it when you can. Third house rules siblings, brother, sister, anyone you would consider brother, sister. They have destiny. Destiny is the Wheel of Fortune card. It is the luckiest card in the whole deck. I would definitely advise my brother or sister, if I got this card in my third house, to take some calculated risks at this time. And the oracle message is the owl. Okay, so this is talking about wisdom. So this is what I mean by calculated. You know, the owl knows exactly what he or she is doing. They are professionals. They are not fly by the seat of their pants type personality profiles, right? Very calculated here. Very studious. They have learned by watching. They have learned by waiting for the right moment to do things, okay? Now, your fourth house, house of home, you have heartache and loss here. There could be a disappointment with where you live, disappointment with your home. There could also be a disappointment in your household occupants at this time. Maybe, someone was supposed to come stay with you or move in with you and they changed their mind, they couldn't do it. Or maybe you have lost a person. I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but I do see that, The second word on this card is loss. So this could definitely be some sort of grieving card, grieving message for you. Also, fourth house rules your father figure. Your father figure could have a loss in his life at this time, and he could be bummed out as a result of that. If that's the case, I'm so sorry. Now the oracle message is the stag, which talks about pride and leadership. I do not feel like you will be in, or your dad will be in this energy for very long. The stag is talking about climbing up slowly to the top. So there is some opportunity to pull yourself, or for your father to pull himself out of the doldrums here and come out on top, regardless of how the feeling is right now. Okay, so that is good news overall. Fifth house, throat chakra. Okay, so this is your friendship circle. For those of you single Cancers, this could be dating life. But I feel like for most of you, it's going to be your social circle. So your friendship network, not close friends. This is more like, you know, friends or acquaintances. The throat chakra says it's definitely time to speak up and do not bite your tongue. People need to know how you're feeling and what's on your mind. Now you have the Queen here, and there's another Queen card in this deck, but this is more of like the Empress card, where she is manifesting what she wants. Now I feel like the first thing that you're going to need to do is speak your mind. And then once that's done, then we sit and wait, right? But the Queen is also getting very tired of people who are not treating her as she should be treated. So, you know, you speaking up for yourself may have something to do with a friend of yours or an acquaintance of yours that has been asking or taking too much of you, Cancer. And so the Queen is not having that. The Queen is sitting on her throne in her power. And I feel like you need to take back your power with regard to your friendships this month, Cancers. It's not going to require a lot of effort. It really isn't. Sixth house, the waiting game. Okay, work and health. Sixth house rules work and health. The waiting game says that patience is required at this time. However, after your period of patience is over, success is assured. We have Mercury in retrograde right now. We have some other planets in retrograde. So there has been delays overall, generally speaking. If you do have a health ailment, they're telling you, of course, always go see a doctor. If you can't get an answer, get a second and a third and a fourth opinion. I'm a big fan of a lot of opinions. I've been saying that a lot lately, especially with all the health stuff that's going on with people nowadays, right? This virus and otherwise. Now, having said that, sometimes health ailments creep up on us because we need to forgive a person from the past. Or perhaps you need to forgive yourself. Perhaps you're harboring resentment over an issue that happened a long time ago. So I would definitely advise you to research Ho'oponopono. And if you just Google H-O''OP, it'll come up. I think it's Joe Vitale who did that. It really works wonders as far as the energy is concerned. Okay, here's the good news for your birthday. Read. Love begins in your 7th house of primary relationships. This is the Ace of Cups card. This is the biggest love card in this deck. Love is coming to you regardless of how you feel about it right now. For those of you single Cancers, you could definitely meet someone. I feel like I've given you this birthday message last year. You'll have to go back and look and tell me if that's the case. Now, we have a double blessing in the 7th house because in the oracle message you have the eagle, which talks about the connection to the angelic realm, also the connection to the heavenly realm, which are two different things. Most people don't know that. But it is the connection to the higher realms. You are receiving psychic guidance from your angels and your loved ones who have crossed over. So this is definitely a double blessing in your 7th house. I love, love, love it. Now we have to talk about a little something here. This really is the only warning that I see in this reading. The 8th house. The 8th house rules a lot of different subject matters, so it's going to be different for each one of you. It rules taxes, it rules legal matters, it rules contracts, it rules the source of your significant other's income, for those of you that have that. And it rules intimacy. Truth says that you've been sweeping a certain thing under the rug for a long time now. Whatever it is, if you're not being satisfied in the bedroom, then that's what it is. If you have been avoiding a tax situation and you have not been paying attention, or you have not been filing your paperwork and you've just been putting it off and procrastinating for another day, then consider this your message, okay? This could also have to do with a contract matter. Truth says that the ugly truth is coming to a head so that you finally have to deal with it once and for all. Okay? The Wasp, this is the warning with this truth card message. The Wasp talks about anger, retaliation, and jealousy. Okay. So for those of you who have had problems with intimacy, there may be some emotional feelings that you may not understand at first that come up to the surface. I would highly advise you to seek out some counselor therapy if you don't already have one. If you have one, I would suggest booking an extra session. And this could, because it does rule, a lot of times when we file taxes and stuff like that, you're filing as a married person. For those of you in business partners, this could be a business partnership that you have financial ties with, and something has not been on the up and up, and you have to deal with it once and for all. And there's a fight here. Okay, so this is going to be different for every one of you, but there is a warning sign that you do need to take care of business here in this 8th house this month. So stay on top of that. Don't let that fester any longer, Cancers. 9th house, Triumph. Okay, so this is higher knowledge. So this is school and also your travel. Now, Triumph says it's like my Knight of Swords card energy, rushing in like the Knight of Swords. So there may be a person, typically a male, younger, who is trying to get you to go on vacation with them this month. Or you may feel, if this is about school, you may feel like there is some big hurry to get this done, get graduated, get signed up, something like that, right? Now, the frog is here to remind us that we have to take care of our home first. The frog is about decluttering. I feel like if this is related to a trip, you definitely could book a trip, but the energy in your home feels so stagnant that you may be scattered. So the frog is like my feng shui card. You feel better when your space is clear. It talks about clutter clearing. and releasing also emotional baggage. So this is like the second message of clearing for you. It's not surprising because Cancers are so emotional, and a lot of you are empaths, and you absorb other people's stuff. That's not good. Sea salt bath if you can. I would highly recommend it. 10th house rules your career. A lot of you, it's going to be talking about your mother. The accelerated motion card for me is Reader. 9 times out of 10 means that your mother, in this case, is saying yes to an offer that isn't what she thinks it is. Now, for some of you, this could be talking about your career. You may sign up for this opportunity. An opportunity may drop in your lap. You think it's one thing, but it's actually another. I do call this my hard life lesson card that you don't have to take. However, in this case, I feel like if it is talking about your career, there is a necessity that you need to learn in this example. I'm saying that I don't think this is your end-all, be-all as far as career, because you did pull the waiting card in your 6th house with regard to work. So that means divine timing, and it could be, I mean, let's face it, divine timing, because this lesson has to be learned first, right? But if this is talking about your mother, you may want to caution her against saying yes to anything that she's offered at this time. Whoops. We pulled the perception card here in your 10th house, so it's all about how you perceive things. How someone perceives things at the beginning of an opportunity is different than the end, let's face it, right? Where they look back and say, oh, I wish I would have done X, Y, Z, or I'm glad I did this. So it's definitely, this situation is changing how you view things, and perhaps how your mother views things. 11th house, talking about balance. Okay, so this rules your children. For those of you that don't have children, it's talking about your best friendships. Okay, balance is there is something out of balance with regard to a younger person here. Oftentimes, this is going to be your child. And I say this quite frequently because it happens all the time, and I'm guilty of this too because I have a teenager. You know, where is your teenager right now? Are they locked in their room video gaming? Are they getting enough exercise? Are they getting enough fresh air? Are they getting enough rest? Are they, how's their diet looking? For those of you that don't have children, this could be someone that you consider a child, like a niece or a nephew. Or this could be a best friend of yours. How's their mental health doing? You may want to reach out to them. You pulled the water fairy here, feelings and emotions. So there definitely needs to be some emotional balance with this person in your 11th house, whether that's your child or your friend. They need time to take time out and acknowledge that, you know what? You need to do self-care every single day. At least one thing every single day, sometimes multiple things. But it doesn't it doesn't appear like they're getting much of any right now. So you may need to have that conversation with this person. Okay, 12th house, emotional withdrawal. So you guys know, for those of you that have been watching me for some time, that the 3rd house rules what's going to happen in the future, approximately 3 months from now. So we're talking about October. Emotional withdrawal is you alone, quiet time, meditation. You may want to take a trip to the lake or the beach because that is your happy place as a Cancer. Oh, and the dog is here to talk about being loyal. Okay, so I feel like this is a person that you either go on this trip with or you meet this person. This could also be someone who's born year of the dog, and for somebody out there, you could actually bring your dog on this trip, which I would always recommend that. Dogs usually love the beach, unless you're my dog who has car anxiety. Thanks so much for being here, Cancers. I love you all. Many blessings.